Hey, what's up? It's Harvey, Slater, Holistic Nutrition Coach. How's it going? Today I'm going to show you how you can use something that's pretty much readily available in everyone's house, just some good old-fashioned oatmeal, to basically be able to whip up a nutritious, nutrient-dense, quick dinner or lunch anytime by showing you how to make some savory oatmeal. So it's actually pretty awesome because oats are basically just a grain. So if you could eat savory rice and savory corn, why not eat savory oatmeal as well? So what we're going to do right now is we're going to start out with a pot of, this is just vegetable broth. You can use bone broth if you want, or even just plain water. This is 2.5 cups of of broth. And then I'm going to put 1 full fennel bulb in there. And I'm also going to put 1 chopped up shallot, and I'm going to then cover this and let it simmer for about maybe 15 minutes so that it can get the flavor of the fennel and shallots in there. Okay, so it's been about just a little under 15 minutes, and we're going to go ahead now, and the fennel's starting to soften up a little bit. We're going to add 1.5 cups of diced tomatoes in juices. This can be from a can or a box. You can also just cut up some fresh tomatoes, but just make sure you retain the juices. You need the juice because some of that broth evaporated, and we want to make sure we have enough liquid in there to actually cook the oats. So we're going to let that just come back up to a boiling temperature, and we're going to put a cover on it to make that go a little faster. Now that we've brought the liquid back up to a boiling temperature, we're going to go ahead and add in the oats. This is going to be 2 cups of just regular old rolled oats. You can use steel cut if you want. Remember, with the steel cut, it might take a little extra cooking time. And then we're going to add in now some more vegetables. This is basically 1 bunch of asparagus tops. And this is 1 cup of green peas. You can use the fresh shelled peas, or you can use the ones in the freezer section. And then you want to stir this so that the oats are soaking into the liquid. That's really important. And the reason I add the vegetables along with the oats is because you want the vegetables to cook in there, but you don't want to add them too early because they'll get smushy. So you want to stir this around and make sure all the oats are covered in liquid. Then I'm going to add a cup of almond milk and stir that in a little more. And that looks pretty good. Now what we need to do is just, again, cover it one more time and allow it to come up to a boil. That'll probably take about 4 minutes. Once it comes to a boil, you want to stir a little bit and lower the temperature and let it simmer. But we'll get to that point when that happens. And now it's starting to bubble on the side, so that's means it's coming up to a better, more simmering temperature. Just giving it one more little stir. Then just going to lower the temperature to about half and cover it again. You want to make sure that it's still got some bubbling and cooking going on. And then we're just going to let that cook until the oatmeal is ready. And now that's been going about 5 or 10 minutes. We're going to add some flavoring. This is just about a teaspoon of herbes de Provence. You can really put any kind of herbs or seasonings you want in there. You could put some fresh chopped parsley, some basil. You could put the leaves of the fennel plant. That would be yummy. And then I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of nutritional yeast in there. And then, of course, a little bit of salt and pepper for rounding out the flavors. I always use some sea salt, and I like to use fresh cracked pepper because it's a little less stale tasting than the. When I was a chef, we used to call it busboy pepper, the pepper that comes in big containers that you put in the pepper shakers. It just gets kind of a stale flavor. It sits around in the container for so long. Then we're gonna stir this up a little more. I don't know why we called it busboy pepper. That was kind of weird. Goes to show you that's kind of a long time ago since I've been working in the kitchen in a restaurant. So I'm stirring in these flavors, but as you can see, that's starting to look really nice. Kind of like, I mean, it doesn't taste like risotto, but it's got that same kind of risotto or rice with vegetables kind of nuance. And just stirring in the flavors a little bit. It's starting to look good. You know it's pretty much ready because the oats get kind of they're not swimming around on their own. They've just sort of become more gooey, and they've become sort of at one with the other ingredients. That's kind of how you know the oats are ready. I am going to let this just simmer maybe just a few more minutes to make sure all the flavors got in there, and then we're going to give it a taste to make sure we flavored it really good. And don't forget, when you're making stuff in your kitchen, following recipes can be helpful, but don't ever be afraid to just change up the flavors a little bit, adjust for flavorings, go up and down, do things that work for you, and give yourself a little permission just to kind of explore and have fun in the kitchen. It doesn't have to be a big, complicated thing. And to serve it, you can just put it in a bowl and I'm adding some plant-based yogurt to it, and then a little rosemary garnish. And that's one way to do it. You can also, if you got some cheese around, this would be great with some Parmesan cheese added in there, some goat cheese, something like that, either plant-based or traditional cheeses. So check this out and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.